Hey guys, Spartan here, and I'm going to start making a little more videos, but today I just want to go over something that kind of relates both to the tactical world as well as the airsoft world. This basically goes along with the eye protection and, protecting your body, like in particularly with gloves. So the first segment is going to be split up into two segments. We're going to be going to gloves and then eye protection. So to start off, I have a couple gloves right out here in front of me. And I've actually used all of these before, except these, but these are actually the same ones as these, and these are basically hatch gloves. These are the ones that were issued through RFI when I was in the 82nd. I really like these a lot. They're basically, all these gloves have, I believe it's a little bit of Kevlar weave in it, basically to help against flame protection. But I have to say though that they're all pretty good. Like, there's no in particular option that'll really stand out too much from the others, but because these are all, like, I mean, you can get these at the clothing and sales or through RFI, except for the Oakleys. But the Oakleys, those are kind of like a premier product that everyone seems to love these days. But I got these issued to me, and they were very good. As you can see, these ones are still new, and these ones are pretty used. They're pretty used and abused. Like, you can tell if I used just because the color difference there, as you can see. But I like these a lot. They're a little bit thicker, I guess you could say. Like, the inside, when you wear it, inside of the glove, like, it's not as thin here. So this is actually a little bit thicker leather, thicker material. I mean, if you're really like going into some like brush or something like thorns or something, I'd probably go with something like this, because these gloves are pretty nice. But I don't know if you can tell, these just, you can kind of just see it. It's not necessarily like less material, but it's just like thinner. Like, there's just, well, I guess it would be less material. There's like one layer of leather, kind of, and this one there's like areas where there's like two layers of leather. It's like, you can feel this one's a little sturdier, but this one, like, if you really want to get the feel of the weapon, this one, I really like these just because you can really, like, you can really feel the weapon because it's really not that thick. So for comfort wise, these are definitely real comfortable. You can also tell that these only come up to the wrist. These hatch gloves, they only come up to the wrist, and I also like they're really easy to take off. You can really manipulate the glove real easy because you're not having like a long sleeve to deal with. So you can really just pull it off, and it's really no problem. Moving on to these ones over here. These are actually issued by through RFI. I got these because they're actually Camelback gloves. So Camelback broke into the glove market, and I have to say they're really on par with everyone else. Of course, they used to be a lot greener. They used to be a lot greener before, but they're not as. I've used them a lot, so they're obviously got the tinged color there. But that's just what happened to the gloves. The hatch and the Camelback gloves, you've noticed they have like a leather protection for your knuckles, so you're not really gonna have hard knuckle protection, but it's still better than nothing. I mean, I remember when I was playing paintball and airsoft in North Carolina. One of the infantry, he's now a platoon sergeant. He was an E6 at the time, really good NCO, a really good friend of mine. He basically told me, you always want to wear gloves because you really never know what you're going to come into contact with in the environment, in any environment, tactical environment or airsoft environment. Especially, concrete will tear up your hands. When you're in the woods, there's splinters and thorns and stuff. And you really just want to protect your hands. And if you're dealing with a real weapon, you don't want your hands to melt. In particular, if you're using a weapon like the saw, you're gonna need some gloves. That's mandatory. And even with a regular weapon, I would highly recommend it because the weapon gets hot when you use it. So also moving on to these are the Wiley X CAG gloves. As you can see, these are like destroyed, like used and abused. I mean, I use these a lot. You've probably seen me in some of my videos, using these gloves. I really like these a lot, but I use them so much that they're literally falling apart. I still have them though, just because I can still use them as backup gloves, but they're not my primary gloves anymore, just because I use them so much. But I mean, that kind of goes to say though that I use them so much because I like them a lot. I really like these because they kind of gave me the Kevlar and the material protection that the other ones did, but they were real kind of thin on the fingers, so I could really feel the weapon. But it still had some thickness here in the palm, and it also had the hard knuckles. Now this isn't like carbon fiber or anything, but it's basically like polymer plastic, you know, piece. It's a little bendable, but it'll protect your knuckles, because you know your knuckles can they can get beat up, and messed up in the environment. Oh, and these these, I mean, you see them everywhere. You see them on like posters. I mean, all the poster boys for like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, like the picture of the guy that they make, they're always wearing Oakley gloves. I mean, I really like these. They're really probably the highest quality gloves I have, and I mean, they're also probably the most expensive ones. They're really up there. The Wily X's are pretty expensive too. I really like the knuckles. I mean, these things are solid. Like, you could mess someone up if you hit someone with these. And I really like the look and the feel. And I mean, I wear them in training now. This is what I primarily use. And they're really easy to put on. I really like, like I said, I like the way they look. The feel is really nice. I get a nice contact feel with the weapon. It's got really good grip, and the protection is pretty good. And like I said, I always like gloves that have like cloth like here, because you know, when you're sweating, you're just like, whew, you know, it's just nice to have something like that right there. And I mean, these are a fan favorite. There's a reason you see a lot of people wearing these, just because they look really good and they feel really good, and I mean, they work. They do the job. I mean, I've seen like I said, this guy I knew, infantry guy, he actually had a pair of these that were kind of worn and torn, and then the part that'll wear down first will probably be in here. On the Wily X's, the part that started wearing down first was the seams along the glove, as well as maybe a hole or two in the leather. Maybe I probably grabbed something and it cut the leather or something, and the hole got bigger. Although the two gloves though that I've used the most, that really haven't shown any wear and tear, are these, but I don't think I really use them as much as the Wily X's, but I use them a lot nowadays as well too. And like I said, it never hurts to have a backup pair of gloves. You know, one is none and two is one, or two is one and one is none. You never know. And I've literally got, like, you know, if this one fails, I got this one. If this one fails, I got this one. If this one fails, I got this one. And these are my primaries. If this fails, I have any one of these options to go along with. But right now my favorite is probably the Oakleys. But any of these gloves will get you through the day. They'll get you in the fight. They'll protect your hands, and they'll get the job done. I really have to say though, if you're kind of on a budget, maybe you want to shoot for something like the Camelback gloves or the Hatch gloves, right? And maybe if you have more of a budget, I would recommend the Wily X's, but they did run, like I did run these through the ground. Like I use these a lot, and you know, any glove that you use a lot will get beat up. But I would say, you know, give these a shot. I have a buddy of mine who uses those as well, because I use them a lot. But I also like these Oakleys, and I really haven't had a chance to run them through the dirt. But I have used them a fair amount, and they're still pretty good. I really like these, and they're still fairly new too. So I'm probably going to be running these through a lot more. So that concludes the segment for gloves. Like I said, you know, if you're on a budget, go for these. And if you have a little more budget, maybe the Oakleys or the Wily X's. But anyone will protect your hands, and the key point is to protect your hands. You know, Hatch, Camelback, and Oakley are probably the gloves that I favor the most. But there's also a couple other companies out there that really come a long way. But right now we're going to make our transition into Eyepro. Alright, this is the next segment, eye protection. Now, this I would consider paramount, even more important than, you know, protecting your hands, because, you know, your hands, they'll naturally get cut up, they'll naturally get eaten by the environment, and you know, stuff happens, you know? You might catch a thorn or something, but if something happens to your eyes, you are seriously in some deep shit. Seriously, man. I mean, you use your eyes for everything. I mean, just imagine if you were blind and you couldn't even check out hot girls anymore because you couldn't even see them. That would be horrible. That wouldn't be a way to live. But I have to say, though, that there's a lot of options out there. Some of the big companies like Revision or ESS, these are fully tactical. Of course, one of my favorite is also Oakley. You know, for us airsofters, eye protection is a must. A lot of fields, they recommend full face protection. I never wear it because I hate full face protection. Who goes to war with a freaking paintball mask? You know, that's what I'm saying. I like getting a nice cheek weld. I like, you know, comfort. So I will at minimum wear shooting glasses, or I will wear goggles. I do have some goggles on the way. They're not here. The Revision Exo Shield. When those get here, I'll probably do a review for those. But since these are here, we'll talk about these. Starting off with the Bully Tactical, I went to an airsoft game, and my glasses, I forgot to bring the white lens, so I needed something so I could see at night. So I just ended up picking these up. I think I won these. I'm can't remember. Yeah, I think I did win these. These are pretty cool. They're not the best in the lot, but definitely if you're on a budget, something like this would be okay. I would kind of caution though, there's not like a full seal around them, so I wouldn't really consider these full seal goggles. But the Bully tactical ones, they'll get you by. This is kind of like your budget goggle. Moving on to the next tier, which is like the RFI military issue level goggles. You got the ESS and you got the Revision. Now Revision is what I've been getting since I left basic. I was actually kind of shocked that they were issuing Eyepro and basic, because I never knew about that, but it kind of really showed me that the Army's really come a long way. Because I remember back in the day, a lot of my NCOs were saying, hey, they didn't even care about gloves or Eyepro or anything. Now everyone's got to have it. It's a big deal. I mean, it's important. You know, your eyes are irreplaceable. So these are the Revisions. They actually got some prescription inserts in here. So I really like these. You know, great field of view. Field of view is really important, in particular. I mean, overall, but especially if you're a gunner, you really got to protect your eyes. And if you're like a gunner on a vehicle, this is the kind of thing you probably want to wear. You know, goggles. You don't. I mean, Eyepro is good, but all the dust and sand and stuff really get in your way. Although for airsoft purposes, I kind of took out some of the mesh that kind of goes along, the little foam mesh, just because it can fog up a little bit. You know, one of the big things about goggles, one of the reasons why I don't use goggles very much, is the fogging, because it happens. You know, it just happens. Some environments are so humid you can't avoid it. These are also the ESS ones as well. They may look the same. They're actually slightly different. This one actually has a foam lining in here. I'm not really sure what the hell it's for, but probably just for comfort, or provide a good seal. But these are okay. I like these as well. I have to say though, of these, my favorite is probably the Revision ones over ESS. Not to say that there's anything bad about ESS, but I just prefer these. I just like these. Also, Revision also came out with a kit that's actually multicam now, so you can get multicam Revisions. Now, moving on to my favorite tier of eye protection is probably the shooting glasses. Now, I'm actually wearing Oakley SI M frames, the standard M frames. These are the M frame 2.0s. These are really more for military. Like you see, there's no shiny logos on here, and it's got, well, this one I have the strike frame, the strike, what the hell do you call it? Not the frame, the strike lens. Pardon me. Now, the strike lens is pretty good. It really protects your eyes a lot. Eye coverage is, it's huge. You know, it'll protect your eyeballs, and they look really cool. And what I really like these is that they fit in your helmet really good. Because these regular SIM frames, the little frame right here actually kind of doesn't fit in your helmet quite as well. But I like these because my M frames that came with them, the lenses were, the sweep lenses, real nice. But I have to say, if you're wearing a helmet, go with the M frame 2.0s. These are really the ones that you want to go with. I mean, you could always swap out lenses, of course, but in particularly for the frame, you probably want to go with 2.0s if you're rocking a helmet. Now, if you're rocking like a ball cap or something, you'll be fine with sweep lenses. One thing about sweep lenses, though, you have to know that these sweep lenses have less coverage of your face. So, like I said, you want to protect your eyes. So any of these options here, you really can't go wrong. You know, I would avoid using mesh eye protection, mesh masks, because you know, when BBs hit them, they're gonna fragment, and you're gonna get little particles in your eyes. That's really not gonna be good for your eyes at all. You know, it's like frag, and just little bits and pieces where the paint chips fall off and they fly in your face. So I would highly advise against using mesh eye protection. If you're gonna use eye protection, use something solid, use something that's got the ballistic rating for it, and you'll be good to go. All right, so make sure you protect yourself out there, your hands, your eyes, you know, especially your eyes, because those are irreplaceable, and just make sure you're playing safe. So this has basically just been a safety PSA from Spartan, and you guys, like I said, play safe out there. You know, don't do anything stupid. Protect your eyes, protect your hands, and you guys have a good one, and I will catch you later on another video from me. So everyone all the way. Oh.